Remember when we said we'd stay together now until forever? Just us, just us. Said we wouldn't be like all the others. Fight.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica Hickson, and I spent 5 years working my way up to the top of an MLM before realizing they're just not all that they're cracked up to be. My goal with this channel is to rescue some Huns, to prevent some from becoming Huns, and to also give those a voice who have left the Hunbot industry like myself.
It's what you do, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can...
Today's small business shout out comes from a subscriber named Sabrina out of Southern Arkansas. Sabrina runs a small business that she has so cleverly named Sobrina. She's been in business since 2019 and has created dozens of pieces that she's really proud of. She uses mainly scrap fabric to create beautiful quilts, so she's repurposing material as well as saving on material costs for herself and the customer. I'm absolutely amazed by all of Sabrina's work, but the one that amazes me the most is the one that she posted 3 days ago, is this whimsical fox. Can we talk about how adorable this is and how much intricate detail is in each quilt? I'm in love. Sabrina is so extremely talented. If you're looking to support a small business, especially around the holidays, and you love unique handmade quilts, then definitely go check out Sabrina at Sobrina. I will leave all of her links in the description below. Today's member shout out goes to Angela LaBelle. Thank you so much, Angela, for all of your support. Angela is actually the face behind all of the stickers that you guys are getting in your small gifts that you receive upon becoming a member of the channel. We actually have some super cute designs that are about to come out, so if you're not a member of the channel, now would be the time to do so, because this next batch of stickers are so cute. So like I said, thank you, Angela, and all of my channel members for being such huge supporters of the channel and the mission behind it. It's appreciated so much more than you'll ever know. I think that's all the shout outs I have for today, so let's get on with the video. So I should probably just stop apologizing for the way that I look and just make sure that you guys have zero expectations when it comes to the way that I look in all my videos, because I feel like every video I apologize for the way that I look if I don't completely do myself up, and I shouldn't have to do that, right? But if you guys were on my live stream yesterday, you know exactly why my hair looks the way that it does today. If you missed that, then definitely go check it out. I hope to be doing some more lives in the near future. I had so much fun talking with you guys, and I was on there for 2 hours. I had no idea. I didn't realize it had been 2 hours, but I was having a blast and it didn't feel like 2 hours at all. But if you didn't happen to catch that live, I tried curling my hair with a straightener yesterday because all of you guys on TikTok make it look so easy, and my hair was dirty, and I was like, I'm gonna try something new because my hair holds curl better when it's dirty. So I tried that and it was an absolute fail. And when I say fail, I mean my hair looked like a rat's nest afterwards. Like, it was a huge fail. So today I just threw it up because no, I haven't showered since then. And I can smell you judging me from here. You can probably smell me from there, so. Anyways, I made sure that my makeup was on point today because my hair obviously is not. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that much. Today's gonna be another reaction video. It comes from none other than Joel and Steph. However, after watching the video in its entirety, I realized that Joel and Steph aren't even on this Zoom. So Joel and Steph aren't on it. It's their team Zoom, but somebody else is running it and other people are talking. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way through it. I am gonna tell you guys up front that I am going to distort the voice of one of the girls because it is my belief that she has good intentions and she's in the business for the right reasons, but she's brainwashed into believing that she's doing no harm, but she has like so much hope in her mind to create a better life for her family. So anyways, you guys will see what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into too much detail there. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about when she starts talking, but just wanted to let you guys know that one of the voices will be distorted in this Zoom.
Awesome. So I didn't hit record right. So I'm going to bounce it over to she killed it at month end. Just give us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with it, works, what's your rank, you know, a little bit of your story.
Hello, hey y'all. Okay, so I'm and this is actually my 3rd time in, and this time I've been in for right at a year actually under Steph, and then the first few times just I really wasn't ready. It just wasn't my time, and I said that if I ever joined again that I would join under Steph. And not only that, I did just a lot of praying during the time that I was in last time, and just really just asking God, like, where is my purpose?
People have this idea that if they sign up with someone who's successful, then that will also make them successful. So this poor lady has signed up now 3 different times, thinking that it's going to be different each time. And unfortunately, it's not a matter of who you sign up with, it's the business structure as a whole. So chances are absolutely nothing is going to change about your experience, regardless of who you sign up with.
Because I just, I didn't feel it yet. And every time I would get on social media, it was like, there was a post, there was a post, there was a post. And I'm like, okay, God, I get it. Like,
baby girl, that's not God. Those are just relentless Huns that are expected to post every hour of every day. And given the fact that you were in the business twice, those are probably the types of people that you have on your page. So that's what you're seeing constantly. It's not God. But this is partially why I'm distorting her voice, because I feel bad, because I had the same thoughts when I was in, that God was putting these people in my life for a reason, and God was doing these things for a reason, because this is where I was supposed to be and I needed to listen to where he was guiding me. But really it was only because those are the people that I constantly surrounded myself with, and so I made myself believe that it was God's doing, but it wasn't.
Let me stop wasting time and get in. So anyways, I live in Mississippi. I am a single mom of 2 teenagers that get on my nerves quite a bit. And because of this business, I've been able to retire from working 2 full-time jobs, working over 60 hours a week, missing out. Like all of my kids, the whole time they were growing up, I missed out on everything because I was always trying to put food on the table and keep a roof over our heads. Whenever I came back in this time under Steph, this time last year, we were being evicted because I just could not pay $650 anymore. And I was having to go around and ask 3 churches to pay my light bill. And that is embarrassing. And not only that is, I just was like, you know what, working 2 jobs, I'm still struggling. And, I didn't want my kids to continue going that way because like my son was going to start driving and it just wasn't fair to them. It was not fair to them that I wasn't trying to find a solution to the problem. And so I jumped back in and I was just ignorance on fire. I told Steph, I'm like, look, I've been in before. I kind of know what's going on. Not that I was, trained right before, but you tell me what to do and I'm doing it. Like I'm ready. I want to go. I want to go as fast as I can. And I want to bring as many people along with me as I can. And it wasn't, I guess just a few months. I don't even think it was 3 months. I went Diamond. I took my boyfriend's account to Diamond and just been, ever since I went, to both of us Diamond, I've just been really focused on helping my team.
Wait a minute. She said she quit her job, right? She just said she's Diamond. Do you guys remember that video I did? I'm gonna link it up here if you guys don't remember, but I broke down the income based on like expenses and stuff, and I took all of that into account, which I never did when I was in, by the way, and that video really helped me realize that I wasn't making nearly as much as I thought I was making. But I broke down the income based on a Diamond level income, taking into account all of the expenses, and at Diamond level, distributors are just breaking even after all the expenses. So she quit her job as a Diamond. That is scary. And it took the LuLaRoe documentary for me to realize why the companies want you to retire yourself or retire your husband or quit your full-time job. And it's because they want all of your eggs in their basket. They want you completely reliant on the business because then you're willing to do more to make more money in order to support your family because it's all that you have. You have nothing to fall back on if you're quitting your job, if you're retiring your husband, XYZ. Like it never hit me why everyone talked about retiring their husbands. I thought it was just like a bragging point. Like
I worked so hard I was able to retire my husband.
But it's not. It was the fact that the company wants you to put all of your eggs in one basket so that if you fail, you're crumbling. So you will choose not to fail and do anything that it takes to not fail.
She has been. She is definitely like team first. She always wants somebody promoting. Love that about her. So you're also very consistent. Like, I know you had talked about, we talked a little bit before this yesterday, how in August you were just kind of let things go, and September you changed your whole mindset. Just kind of explain that a little bit and what was that light switch moment?
The fact that Joel and Steph monetize these videos and they're not even in them says a whole lot.
Yeah, so in August, August was, well, really the end of summer going in, into September, I was just really in just a rut. You know, I was tired of people just joining and quitting. I was tired of me wanting it more for them and them not wanting it for themselves. And it really got to me. And, you know, I just had to have a wake up call really that I have to stop letting what other people, like, I can't make anybody do their work. I can't make anybody want this, even though I want it for every single person that even exists in this world, right? And so I kept, you know, because my checks were going down too, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're not going to get another job. Like, no, ma'am, what are you doing? And I told Steph that. I was like, my checks are going down. Like, I'm sick of having my pity party. I was like, get ready, because I'm back. I'm going. And then when I heard about the 4-in-1, that really changed everything for me. And I've been talking to a lot of existing distributors, and they're saying the same thing. It just really, when we seen how simple it was, I think, like, I know.
So simple, you guys. Let me remind you just how simple it was.
3 distributors and 12 loyal customers. Out of the 12 loyal customers, 4 must be kept personally with a minimum of 180 BV.
And that's for Christmas cash.
Yep, that's Christmas
Now,
cash.
we're going to talk fast starts, let's say in October. In order to get your fast starts on people you enroll in October, you need to keep 4 more loyal customers. So each 30 days is a new period. Every 30 days, every calendar month, you need to make sure you personally do your 4-in-1.
Mm-hmm.
So for every time you personally do your 4-in-1, you can get 3 what are called tier 2 bonuses, which is that $350 when your DTs complete their 4-in-1. So Stephanie signed up 5 loyal customers or 5 distributors this month. So now she's already got her 4. So that takes care of 3 of those distributors. In order to get the extra $350 on those other 2 distributors, she needs to sign up 4 more customers. Because the 4 she signed up qualify her for the first 3. So now she needs to sign up 4 more and keep them top line to qualify for 3 more in that 30-day period.
The simplicity is truly remarkable.
In my eyes, I was like, wow, like, it doesn't get more simpler than that. And bringing people in, letting them know 4-in-1. I mean, every time I talk to somebody, they're like, I can do that. And I'm like, you can do that just on your page alone. But just imagine what you can do if you just throw all the tasks in with it. And it just, you know, like I said, my checks were going down, and I just had to realize that all these people quitting has to stop affecting me and what I'm actually here to do. And because there is still people that do want this. And, you know, I just went back to the basics, and I just told myself, just like Steph had told me, she said, keep being consistent. The ones that want it will follow. And I was like, okay, you can do this. And every day, even on the days I didn't feel like it, because let me tell you, it's something to get yourself out of a rut. Like, it takes a lot. And so it was just one day at a time. I would get up and I would really focus on self-development first.
Listen, I'm not against working on yourself. I'm all about bettering yourself, doing your own like self-help things and all of the things, okay? I'm about all of that. However, if you're in a job and you're struggling to do your job and you seek help or guidance on how to do your job better, and your boss tells you, your boss, non-boss, because you're your own boss, right? Your boss tells you to do self-development and work on yourself, run. Like, if they can't tell you how to do your job better and all that they have to tell you is to do self-development and work on yourself, they're the problem, not you.
And every single day, even the last day of last month, I text Steph and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but I'm doing my 3, 4-in-1, and it's happening today. And I already had 2 cycles. Well, yeah, I already had 2 cycles almost done. I needed 1 customer for my second 4-in-1. And I said, no, I'm getting the 3rd one in too, because I don't want to have to start over next month. I want to work on my boyfriend's account next month.
So that super simple system that we all learned about last week, I think it was, the one that I just refreshed your memory about, that's what she's referring to. And I think what she means is that, like, when you sign a distributor, you have to get their first 3 customers, 4 customers. You have to get their first 4 customers within 30 days, or you have to like start over and enroll a new distributor and get their 4 customers in 30 days, I believe. I think that's what she's talking about. But I also want to touch on the fact that she enrolled her boyfriend. There's so many things wrong with this. First of all, she was probably encouraged to enroll her boyfriend because that means 2 auto shipments would be running. So her boyfriend's auto shipment would have to run in order for him to be commission qualified, and her auto shipment would have to run in order for her to be commission qualified. Unless she was getting 150 in volume for them each month, which doesn't sound like that's the case because she was working on getting her 4-in-1, so she was transferring the customers. So she was probably encouraged to enroll him so that 2 auto shipments could be running and the business volume for those auto shipments would rise up, in my opinion, of course. But one problem with that is the fact that her boyfriend obviously isn't running a business on his own. So she's working both businesses. If she's a diamond, that means that she has a team, a good amount of people on her team, a decent amount of people on her team. So she's trying to run them, but not only that, her biggest leg on her team is also a diamond, which happens to be her boyfriend's leg. And she also has to run that because her boyfriend obviously is not working the business. So she essentially has 2 teams that she's running, which is so extremely overwhelming, let me tell you. When I signed up my husband, I ended up just like not using his leg anymore because it was too hard to manage 2 teams at one time. So I ended up just using someone underneath of him in order for me to promote. Not only that, but like, what if something happens between her and her mans? Then what? Like, that money is legally his. If something happens between her and him, that entire leg crumbles, or he just gets to keep collecting a paycheck. She has 0 rights to that paycheck if anything happens between them.
Because we need this like at least twice or not more, you know? And so that's really what helped me is just, you know, that I can't let other people, what they're doing affect me, because it was affecting me really bad, because when you keep going and you feel like you're going alone, like somebody that wants to help everyone, it really mentally messes with you.
I agree with this. I had the same experience with my team to the point where I wanted it so badly for people that I was willing to do it for them. I knew these moms personally, and I knew that they wanted and needed to be home with their children. It wouldn't like financially pay off to go to a job every day and put their kids in daycare, and they wanted to be home with their children. So I wanted it for them so badly that I was willing to do it for them. But a problem that you'll run into at that point, and I definitely ran into it too, is that that's not a strong foundation. Like, structurally, you will crumble way quicker if you're doing it all by yourself, because you can't keep up with that month after month. So once the 3-month auto shipment is done for those customers, they're going to start falling off, and you can't keep up with that consistently if you're trying to build a team. So I get what she's saying about that, but also they try to convince you that your paycheck is dependent on what you do, which is not true in any way, shape, or form. I got told that all the time, but the thing was, I was an overworker. So I worked too much most times, right? And my paycheck didn't reflect that sometimes. And that wasn't because I wasn't working hard enough or I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't bringing enough volume in or bringing enough distributors in. It was because you have to rely on your team in order to help build your paycheck. You can't promote on your own. So they would always like make you feel guilty and make you feel bad about not working hard enough if your paychecks weren't where you wanted them. And if your paychecks weren't where you wanted them, you just needed to work harder. They would always guilt you about that. But the truth is that you can't promote if you don't have a team. There's no way to get to the first level of the company without a team, let alone maximize the compensation plan and get to the top of it without a team. You have to have a team, and you have to have a team that is working, or there's absolutely no way to get to the top. Like, you can't make, say, 150,000 or whatever is required for the top level of the company. You can't make that in a month by yourself. Like, there's no possible way you could bring in that many customers in 1 month by yourself. You have to have a team. It's not dependent on you. But they're gonna make this mom, who already has mom guilt about not creating a better life for her family and missing out on things over the past few years or what have you, she already has mom guilt. So they're gonna make her feel like it's her fault if she's not getting where she wants to go or her paychecks aren't where they should be.
but I had to just let go and let God too, and
Let me mention, they're also probably really preying on the faith aspect of the business, especially for her, because she does talk about God a lot. So she's probably a faith-based woman and she believes that God is directing her life. So they probably prey on that aspect of it a lot as well.
And I'm just excited for this new 4-in-1, and I crushed it the last day of the month. And I told myself too, like, you have to make a decision. And, that's what I decided. And I told Steph that morning, I said, I don't know how I'm going to get the rest of these customers, but I'm going to do it. And all of those customers got pick 3, except for 2 got pick 2. And then one lady did end up just getting 1 bottle of gummies because she's like, that's really all I can afford. And I didn't give them the option of just buying one thing either.
We learned that from Steph in our last team Zoom with them. Trick them into thinking that they're receiving an amazing deal and don't tell them otherwise.
Awesome. So before we get to your month-end killer game, let's just talk about what you do every day, your 6 list. I just posted it in the chat so everybody can see it. But is this something you do every day? Is this like a non-negotiable for you? Do you do it once? Do you do it twice? Just explain it a little bit.
So for those of you who don't know what a 6 list is, it's basically a list of 6 things that you have to get done every day. So you make a list of things that are furthering your business or income producing activities, if you will, and you put 6 things on a list, and those 6 things you have to get done every single day. So just to clarify what she's about to talk about here.
Okay, so the beginning of September, like I said, when I started, when I decided again that I was going to stop, letting all the things that I couldn't control, stop, allowing that to happen. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to continuously pray for the people that want to come in. I'm going to pray that God specifically puts people here that want to be here and that, need it and want to work for it and go with me. And so I made up this 6 list of the things that are non-negotiable. And I said, every single day I'm going to go back to doing them like I did when I went diamond. Is I didn't go to bed without these tasks being done. Like my kids will even tell you, if I stay up, I'll stay up till 1 o'clock if I don't have this done. And if you don't think people won't order at 3 a.m., there's still people awake and they will.
I wish a bitch would message me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Good luck. If you catch me at 3 o'clock in the morning, you probably got another thing coming. I probably won't be too happy. Although I usually keep my phone on silent at night anyway. Or all the time. It drives my husband crazy. I'd be like, I lost my phone, I can't find it. Can you call it? He'll be like, is it on loud? I'm like, no, it's on silent. It's on vibrate, so I might be able to hear vibrate. But please wake me up at 3 a.m. and message me. Great idea. And great idea encouraging others to do that too.
And so that's just what I do. I make sure, I made a boards that I have, I post breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I kind of have it, planned out like this for, me and my team. And that's helped out a lot. The first few days I set an alarm in my phone to so that I wouldn't forget, because we're all busy. I'm super busy. And so, I make sure I do that. Before I go to bed is whenever I send out my host to post messages. That way, when I wake up, I have all the yeses in my, in my messages so that I can send them out. But yeah, I don't go to bed without getting this stuff done, because you have to show up to go up. And that, I know that sounds so cliche, but it's the truth.
1 minute. I'm going to add that to our list of cliche terms for our drinking game. Side note, when I was on my live video yesterday, you guys kept telling me how you like it when I speed up the footage and I'm writing something, because I have a bad habit of biting my lips. Doing this, so when I speed it up, you guys said it looks cute, and that just cracked me up all day. I told my husband about it and I was like, that's such a random thing. You guys are so funny. I love you guys so much.
So let's talk month end now. Your power push to complete that 4-in-1. What did it? Was it host to post? Were you messaging? Were you going live? TikTok? What were you doing?
So I was doing host to post. So going into September with this 4-in-1, like I said, I wanted to complete my 4-in-1 at least 3 times. That way this month I could work with my distributors and then work on it on my boyfriend's account as well. And I usually do 10 a day. but I just felt overwhelmed at the time with it, getting back in the groove of it, because like I said, last month I was like horrible at being consistent and doing it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but consistent means doing something over and over and over again over like an extended period of time. If you're talking about getting back into it and having like a month-end push, that's not consistency. And this whole entire Zoom is about being consistent. Doesn't make much sense to me, but go on.
And so I said, you know what? I'm going to just do 5. We're going to do 5 a day. And then, if we can do it twice a day, we will. And so I just worked on 5 a day because I feel like 5 is not overwhelming. 5 is not a big number. Like, we can do 5 just by messaging 30 people in like not even 10 minutes.
I think it's so funny that she so nonchalantly says we could get that by messaging 30 people, as if 30 people is like not a big deal. And I remember being in, and 30 people, like, people would get scolded for only messaging 30 people that day. And now, as an outsider looking in, it's like you literally sat down for 10 minutes and copy and pasted 30 hey girl messages to 30 different people on your social media. That's embarrassing. And to call it work, and to call it honest work, and to put down people who actually like do honest work, such as YouTube. Mind blowing to me.
And so I would do 5 a day. And so I was messaging for host to post. Now, I'll do a giveaway post like once a week, but I really have like, even though I interact, it seems like I have the same people comment. And I do message them some, especially if their host to post did really well for me before. I'll say, hey girl, do you want another entry into the giveaway? And I just give them a different one. But that's what it was though. It was host to post. I didn't do any TikToks or Reels actually until starting this month. I was like, okay, now I got to get consistent with them again. But it's just messaging people, just asking, hey, can I ask you a quick question? And
I cannot tell you what that phrase does to my anxiety. Like, please do not ever send me a message and say, can I ask you a question? Just ask the damn question. If you say, can I ask you a question? I'll probably open your message and just delete it. I will never message you again because my anxiety goes through the roof. Put that on the same list as somebody who sends a message and then unsends a message, and it tells me that the sender has unsent the message. Those two are on the same list. And the only reason people in MLMs know to do that is to ensure a response, because some people are curious and they want to know, I wonder what question they're going to ask me. But if they say, can I ask you a question? It's obviously not a very important question, or else they would have asked it to begin with. So
I always put before it, like, I know you're going to drop the scripts below, but I always say, hey, happy Friday, good morning, hope your day is going good. Can I ask you a quick question? And they always say yes. And now I have like maybe 2 people a week say no, thank you. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Have a good day.
That's a lot. Most people ignore you or say no, thank you. And I'm telling you that from experience. Also, she just caught herself up in a lie because she said that she could get 5 hosts to post up by messaging 30 people. So if most of them are saying yes, those numbers don't really add up. Because 5 out of 30 people is not most of the people, right?
And I just take them off my friends list.
She just said if they say no, then she takes them off her friends list. So if they're not willing to make a post for you, they're not worthy of being your friend. And that is the sad truth within an MLM. We were taught our social media pages only for our business. Like, everything that we put on our social media should reflect something to do with the business. And so they're willing to just delete anybody if you're not willing to make a post for them. And that is so sad. I'm sitting on my heating pad today because I'm freezing cold. It's officially that season where I'm just cold all the stinking time. So I'm sitting on my heating pad and it's a little bit too hot on my bum right now.
Yeah, I'm the same way. They're not going to post for me. They don't need to be on my friends list. So when you were pushing hard at month end, about how many messages did you send out asking for host to post?
So I did 100 in that morning. I did 100 because I wanted to try to knock it out early, so that way I could focus on other things. But I did 100 that morning and I got up 5 immediately. Got up 5. And what I did was I did 5 giveaway posts that morning. And so then, and they just blew up because everybody's seen the whole grandma name thing.
Yes. Yes, we have. That one's getting old.
So those are the ones that I did. But every time I have somebody post for me, I switch up the wording. Every single time I have somebody post, I switch it up in some kind of way. And sometimes I have them do a bright background. Sometimes I don't. It just really depends, honestly. So then at lunchtime, I was like, okay, I'm going to send out another. At lunchtime, I only did like 40 messages though. And
So 140 messages in one day so far. I don't know if she sent any in the evening, but 140 messages in one day. And let me tell you, that's not uncommon. We used to have competitions to see who could message the most people, to the point where we would send each other screen recordings of our inbox to ensure that we were doing exactly what we said we were doing that day.
And believe it or not, I got like 8 up. And so those people I had to product post because that's what I was working on, because I had already signed several distributors through the month. So I was just working on, getting in the LCs. So then I did that. Well, then when I went back that afternoon to check the giveaway post, one of them had 265 comments, and the lady didn't have that many friends, y'all. She had like, I think 500 and something friends. I was really surprised when I went back and checked it. So I started adding those people, but not too fast because I didn't want to get blocked.
If you have to worry about getting blocked when you're doing your job, you might be a pyramid scheme. Maybe I'll start a series, kind of like a You Might Be a Redneck series, but You Might Be a Pyramid Scheme series.
And then when they accepted, I immediately sent them a message. Hey girl, thanks for commenting on the cash giveaway post that, Janice put up. All you have to do is I'm going to send you a post really quick and just throw it on your page. And everybody was like, yes, yes, yes. But I want to say this too, is I decided that day, and Steph will text you, I said, I am signing these customers today, one way or another. We're going to start with HAPs, but if I have to go live on all of my platforms, I will. Like, we're going to get it done today. And I think that, you have to really decide that, because if you go into, and I've done this before, if you go into, I'm going to sign these, and then as soon as you start, you're like, oh, I'm not going to get them. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I'm trying. Like, it's just not going to happen. If you go into it like that, that's what you're going to get. And I've been there before.
So we're manifesting again. We got this, guys. Ready?
Kumbaya. I will manipulate 474 people today so that 8 of them will make a post for me and I can earn a $5,000 bonus before Christmas that I could literally do at any other job in the whole wide world. But Steph and Joel have manipulated me so much that I don't even realize that. Amen. Hallelujah. All hail the Hun gods.
Put it into the universe. Good job, guys. We did good.
That is so true. Sometimes it's just that mindset of like, I'm going to do this. And yeah, I mean, this doesn't mean you have to send 100 messages every day by any means, but if you're really wanting to push, like, it can be done. I want to switch gears really quick over to distributors. I know you said you had signed a few throughout the month, and you got those through Host to Post as well, and you were getting them on the phone. So maybe talk about that a little bit.
So everybody remembers her being on a couple of Zooms, and she is like one of my biggest inspirations. I talk to her like all the time. And when she, I just listen to what the leaders say, honestly. So when she was like, sometimes you have to pivot, and she was like, I know it like scares us to death to get people on the phone. And I was like, like what? She's talking to people on the phone? Like, no way. And then, just that night, I just kept praying about it. And I was like, Lord, I'm freaking out, but I want to do this. And I said, I just know that it's going to be a transformation, because when you get somebody on the phone, it's just, you have that instant connection. They can tell if you're a good person or not. They can tell, like, every person that I talked to, they were like, wow, I can hear the passion in your voice. And, some of those people I have followed up with, through Host to Post, through voice messages, and it wasn't like that. But getting them on the phone and letting them, first of all, because when I first get them on the phone, I'm like, okay, hey, I've been in, this long, and I was like, but first, before we go any further, tell me something about you. Are you married? Do you have kids? Make that conversation about them first, and then because that makes them feel good. Because I know if I get on the phone with somebody and it's just, they're all just, yabbering, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, this is awkward. And so immediately when you make it about them, and then I asked them, I said, do you work now? Can you give this at least 1 to 2 hours a day? And what are you wanting from this? You know, are you wanting to eventually quit your job? Are you just wanting $200?
We were always taught to get them on the phone because it's harder for people to say no, like to your face, basically. Like if you're talking to them, it's harder for them to say no, rather than if you're like texting them, it's a lot easier for them to say no. So that's why we were taught to get them on the phone. Also, 1 to 2 hours a day is not going to make you any amount of significant income. They want you to believe that before you join, so that you join and you think it's going to be super easy and you can do it. However, 1 to 2 hours a month will, or 1 to 2 hours a day will not get you hardly anywhere. Also, this reminds me, my upline used to talk to people on the phone because she knew that it made them feel like closely connected with her. And so this is how she convinced everyone to like be her best friend, or like that they were her best friend. So it would be easier for her to manipulate them. And so she would have certain times of day that she could talk to certain people, because she said that some people were just so exhausting. She didn't want to talk to them, but she knew she had to. So she would save those people for a certain part of the day. And then other people that she enjoyed talking to, she would save those people for a certain part of the day. That's just how much she knew how to like work people and manipulate people. And people are still under her spell. People who have been under her spell for like 7, 8, 9 years haven't picked up on this yet. Those are the same people that she refers to as idiots because they've been in so long and they're not making any money, and she knows that and considers them idiots for sticking with it, but they think that she's their best friend. That's the kind of stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
Are you just instantly, I mean, they were, whenever I brought up the price, they were like, yep, let's do it right now. Like, let's go. No questions asked, because I had already related to them, connected to them. And I told them briefly what it's done for me. And they were like, I trust you. Like, let's go. And they're killing it. They haven't even, a couple of them hadn't even been in a week, y'all. And I got them just started on Host to Post, and they're already completing their 4-in-1.
Look, another ad.
It's so true. And so I know it's scary, like talking to people on the phone. We're such a text society. I totally get it. I'm the same way. But it's amazing. Like if you can just get somebody on the phone and ask them the question, get to know them, they get to know you. And that's so important. And building those relationships, those are going to be your lifelong customers, your lifelong distributors, because you're invested in them. Something you said, which I thought is amazing, and we've run into it as well, is no one's batting an eyelash at the $149.
So among all of the ground floor opportunity changes that they made, one of the
Most incredible.
changes that they made was making the starter kits $50 more. And I say most incredible because they try to make everything sound like a good thing, even when it's not, clearly. So they not only made it harder to achieve bonuses, but they also made it harder to enroll distributors to achieve those bonuses by making it $50 more. Gee, thanks.
So can you just kind of explain, like, is there a way you explain it, or did you just say, hey, it's $149 to join?
So it's kind of funny because going into the month, I text Steph and I was like, what? The kits went up? Like, who's going to do this? Like, I kind of panicked, for a minute. And then I was like, no, like this business has changed our lives, Like if somebody's not willing to pay it, then they're just not, they don't need to be here.
I honestly have so much sympathy for this mom, because you can tell that she truly just wants to create a better life for her family, and she's like desperate to do so, but she's at the diamond level rank, which we know is not life-changing, and like the diamond level average is $2,000 a month, and she quit her job already. And we also know, in my experience, that the averages listed on the income disclosure chart are typically higher than what people actually make. And so we know this hasn't been life-changing for her, but I think she's been sold this dream and this hope. So she's truly trying to convince herself that it's going to be life-changing, because she's so hopeful that it will be. And she's so sure that like this is where God wants her. I feel for her.
And so I have a script that I, got from somebody else, and it just kind of breaks it down after I tell them, like what I do, which if I'm on the phone, I just say, okay, so, when would you like to get started? And they're like, immediately. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what we have to do to get you signed up. It's $149 plus tax and shipping. And I say, but with that, you're going to get, 2 bags of coffee, the bottle of gummies, the bottle of calorie burner, and you're getting 5 3-day sample packs. And I say, you're going to immediately sell those. I'm going to show you how to make that 140 back. And then I go into telling them you're getting training, like step by step, day to day, however much you need, however long you need, you know, and just your website, your e-suite. And then, most of them are like, what? All that? And I'm like, yeah.
She's trying. She really is. But I never had one person, even when it was $99, I never had one person be like, what? All of that? So I have a really hard time believing that somebody is saying that about 150, but okay.
And so they don't really question it. But I also let them know, I'm going to hold your hand these first, several days, because I'm going to show you how to earn those weekly bonuses immediately as well. And that's what they're really looking at too.
Was perfect segue, because that was my next question is, what exactly are you doing to help these new distributors just hit the ground running? Like, is it just host to post? Are you giving them like daily tasks? What exactly?
Yeah, so I have been doing a Zoom Monday through Friday at night. Like usually it's like 8:30. We just get on and we strictly work on host to post when we get on, because like that's very important.
So time freedom, but every night at 8:30, you have to get on a Zoom with your team to work, which typically at a normal job, you would be off work at home, lounging around watching your favorite TV show, which is not allowed in It Works because there's no BV in TV. These are the things that aren't talked about. Like, sure, time freedom, you can take off if you need to go somewhere, whatever. You still have to be readily available at all times. And then if you're signing up new people, you have to be readily available in the PM in order to help those people get started. And if a customer messages you, 10 o'clock at night, you have to be readily available to respond to them, time freedom though.
And I know that that's what's going to help them enroll too and add to their network. And then like throughout the day, even though we have the boards, I say, hey, I go to their page, and if they haven't, put something up maybe because they don't know. And even though we give them a boards, I realized this yesterday, even though we give it to them, they don't necessarily know what to do. And so I'll say, okay, here's your morning post. Then I'm like, okay, I'll voice message because I have different chats and stuff with everybody. And I'll say, okay, girl, now I want you to post a picture of you and your sons, something to do with not. So I'm kind of just showing them how to go into it. But when I start them off, it's just posting at least 3 times a day. I give them story slides to put in their stories and host to post. And then they're doing giveaway host to post. So that's adding to their network.
I love that, because we sometimes think like, oh, everybody knows how to do this business. I figured it out. No, that's not the case. You have to give them little daily instructions. And that's why like posts of the day and like just that 6 list, like that's the perfect thing. If you can send it to somebody new, just like piece by piece, like, hey, go follow these people. I
mean, good on her for actually teaching them how to work the business. I've seen too many leaders be like, work on self-development. Like every Zoom we ever watch is about working on self-development, and then not actually teaching their team how to do anything or how to actually work the business. So, I mean, good on her for actually teaching them and not telling them to go look up a YouTube video if they want to know how to do something, which has happened numerous times.
Hey, go interact. That's something they can do. And to you, that would be like, oh, they do that on Facebook anyway. No, some people don't, and they don't know any better. So we have to teach our new distributors everything we do. And that's from host to post all the way to interaction to adding people. So that's so, so important. Do you have anything else? I feel like we went over most of it, but did I miss anything?
Another ad. That's 3. One of them was unskippable with another one following it. So technically 4.
No, not really. Just doing host to post and getting people on the phone is really changing it for me. And I had some host to post, and I'm telling you guys, 5. This month I've only done 5 a day, except for my Sabbath. And today, out of the 5, 4 of them blew up. And there was a few ladies that even were like, hey, can you call me on my lunch break? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So now they're even asking me. And like, don't overthink it, because I was too. And whenever you get on the phone, like none of them asked me anything I didn't know. And none of them like it was just the conversation just goes so smooth. And after you do it once, like I am so excited. Like, I'm finding people to try to get on the phone now because
You could not pay me enough to even call to order a pizza, let alone try to talk someone into joining my pyramid scheme. Allegedly a pyramid scheme, in my opinion, not based on fact.
But a lot of those people that I signed on the last day of the month I was voice messaging them, and what I would do is send them my before and after pictures. I do that for every potential customer. As soon as we get the information out for whatever they commented on, like the gummies or whatever, I send them my before and afters, and then I send them someone else's that's used the gummies for like 7 or 10 days. You know, one of those. And
if you're using gummies for 7 to 10 days, you're not going to have any significant results enough to send to people to convince them. Like, you shouldn't have results enough to send to people enough to convince them. After 7 to 10 days using these magical gummies, no. Also, can you guys stop posting pictures of gummy bears when you are marketing these gummies? Because they don't look anything like that, but since they're not aesthetically pleasing, we have to post a picture of a different product that's not even your product. I feel like that's probably illegal, but just post your stupid, ugly gummies. Who cares?
and then I'm like, what is your goal? Because they immediately are going to trust me to lead them the way they need to go.
They're going to trust you, so show them why they shouldn't. Makes total sense.
After you get them on your page, and because they're going to go check you out. So they go to your stories and I always made sure every single day, I make sure I have something about what this has done for me and offering the business. And they're just constantly voting polls or messaging me. So just consistency really does pay off.
Yeah, polls are huge because sometimes people might be a little bit worried to message you, and that just opens the door for you. And I love that you're upselling. That's so huge. I always, like you said, you weren't giving people an option for one product. You were giving them an option of 3.
It's weird that they talk about that like normally. Like, it's totally cool and totally fine and totally not scammy.
There is a couple questions in the chat. And this one I'm definitely going to ask you because you killed it on TikTok for a while. So yes, she does use TikTok. I'm going to have her talk about it really quick I don't remember how many customers you signed up the 1 month from TikTok, but it was huge.
Yes, 12 distributors and 80 customers.
You hear this, TikTok? That's because you're allowing it. I can't tell you how many videos we have reported for being MLMs, pyramid schemes, in my opinion, and the videos go right back up. They don't violate community standards. However, you came out and said clearly that MLM posts are not allowed, so...
Off just TikTok a couple of months ago, that's when I took my boyfriend's account to Diamond just that month. Like, I hadn't even signed him up, not even 2 months, and took him. And it was just, it's consistent. Like, if you guys go and check my TikTok out, like, it's kind of embarrassing because I'm so bad at it. My kids make fun of me, but I'm like, hey, they're working.
So I went and looked at her TikTok after she said, like, her kids make fun of her or whatever, and it wasn't that cringy, but you guys have to see this.
Hey, you guys. Okay, so I just wanted to hop on here really quick because today is National Evaluate Your Life Day. And this really hit me this morning when I heard it on the radio. I was like, really?
They really be doing the most now. Like, we're making up holidays now to promote our business opportunity.
There's a holiday for that, or should I say a national holiday for that? And so it just reminded me of 3.5 years ago when I was struggling working 2 full-time jobs and I couldn't make ends meet. I was scraping change to try to put gas in my car. I was having to ask my mom for money to help me out. I was asking churches to help pay my light bill. You guys, I was in a place where I was struggling the worst I had ever in my life. And I knew, I'm like, how can I take on another job? I'm already working 2. I'm never seeing my kids like it is. And I was just in that place where I got tired of living that way. So I seen a girl posting on social media about how she was making an income from social media. And I was like, that's probably a scam, whatever. But I kept watching her and I was like, okay, this seems legit. And if she can do it, why can't I? And so I finally reached out to her and I was like, hey, what do you do? And is it legit? And can I do it? And after she was like, yes, we teach you everything, yada, yada, yada. I was like, okay, I need to sign up. I was very skeptical. I was afraid of failing and I didn't even think I would make any money doing it, you guys. But what I was more afraid of is that day I evaluated my life and I said, doing what I'm doing right now is getting me nowhere. And in order to get something different, you have to do something different. So I was like, you know what? I'm skeptical about this, but I gotta at least try it, because I'm more afraid of looking at my life in a year and it being in the same situation that I'm in now. I'm more afraid of that than joining a business and at least giving it a try, right? And so after I joined the business, within 3 months, you guys, I doubled my full-time income. I quit both of those jobs. That was 3 years ago. I'm still with the same company. I love this company. I love what it stands for. And we're helping everyone change their lives while we're changing our own. So I say that to say this. Evaluate your life today. Is it where you want it to be? What could you change? Because this is the thing, and I knew that day no one was coming to save me. I couldn't just wish my life would get better, right? Reality is we have to do something in order to. So I just encourage you today to take action. And if you're in a struggling situation and you want to make an extra income, I'm going to put my phone number right here and you need to reach out to me. I understand that this seems very skeptical and this seems like a scam, because there is scams out there, but I'm telling you it's not, and it can change your life just like it has for me and my family and several others on my team. So I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope this encouraged you.
Couple things. One, she forgot to mention the fact that she has joined 3 different times now. She said this was 3 years ago that she replaced her full-time income, or whatever she said. No, that was your 3rd time joining, but a little bit of a white lie. Still a lie. Also, why don't you want people to know that you've joined 3 different times? Is it because the first 2 times failed, but you don't want them to know that the potential of them failing is high? Also, some of the most toxic phrases that they use all the time, among many, there are so many, but one of them is, no one's coming to save you, so you have to save yourself. Like, how do you know my Prince Charming isn't waiting for me? Just saying. Also, it's just a manipulation tactic. That's just a manipulation phrase. So it's annoying and toxic. Also, the phrase about like being more scared of your life looking exactly the same as it is right now than you are of giving a business a try. No, that's just a manipulation tactic as well. And then there's one more TikTok of hers that I wanted to show you guys. The caption part of it reads, "I lost 14 pounds in 2 weeks. You'll love them."
Okay, y'all, let's talk about these gummies. Y'all better get them because they're about to go off sale, okay? 1 bottle for $39 or 2 for $69. Text my phone number right here and get it while you can. And guess what? I lost 14.5 pounds in 2 weeks, y'all.
It's not healthy to lose weight that fast. Say it with me. It's not healthy to lose weight that fast. I've talked about this before, how these MLMs make people feel like they need to lose weight in an unhealthy way because they need to show that their products work and they need to have these drastic before and after photos. But just for shits and gigs, I decided to look up how much of a calorie deficit someone needs to be in order to lose a pound, just to see if this was possible or how this would take place. So according to Medical News Today, a person would need to eat 500 to 1,000 calories fewer than their body needs per day to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. That would mean that she would have to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit per day to lose 7 pounds in a week. And that, my friends, is called starvation. And it's truly sad to see so many people resort to that within MLMs because they're so desperate to sell these products. They're so desperate to show that these products work and to have drastic before and after photos. It's truly heartbreaking. I get it because I did something similar. But one, she's probably super malnourished if she lost 14 pounds in 2 weeks. She's also depriving her brain of essential nutrients. She's also probably killing her metabolism. So when she does start eating regularly again, she's gonna gain it all back super quick. She's also probably losing a lot of muscle mass. So it's all around a lose-lose, other than the fact that you have these drastic before and after photos that you can use to sell your products. I'll get off my soapbox now. Just had to mention that. Let's get back to the video.
I don't know if anybody was on the call last night with and some others, but she said that 60 days ago she decided to do 5 a day, and like a couple of them would be business related and a couple not.
5 TikToks a day. I can't even manage to get 5 up a week. I can't keep up with TikToks and Reels. I'm terrible at it, but 5 a day? You for dang sure can't get 1 to 2 hours. Like, it takes me probably 1 to 2 hours to film 1 to 2 TikToks. But you can do this part-time in the pockets of your day, right?
And within those 60 days, y'all, she has like triple, quadrupled her followings and stuff. So I just go look at theirs and see what they're doing, and I just reenact it my own way.
I love that. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And that's all that matters. And don't worry about if you're going to look a fool or not, because who cares?
You'll just with me.
Yeah. You're just having fun. That's all that matters. Like,
yeah.
And one other question is do you have any sort of like tips or any special tricks you use if somebody's like ghosted you? They left you unread.
As far as like hats or following up?
Yeah, follow up mostly.
Okay, so what I usually do, like, because I did have several people that were supposed to join they were supposed to sign up the last day of the month. And they were like, yep, I'll do it after work. And then it was like gone. And I'm like, well, okay, well. So I honestly, y'all, I follow up with people until they either block me or they join.
And this, friends, is why you need to block them if they're relentless and won't leave you alone. If not, they will continue messaging you no matter what until you block them or you join them. You might be a pyramid scheme if you have to keep messaging people until they block you.
And so what I would do though, so it's not like, too like annoying, I would give them their time. I always ask them though, like, okay, well, when is a good time for you? Okay, when do you want to sign up? I try to ask them that way because they give me dates, and my calendar, my book right here is just full of people's dates, especially for this month, because if you ask them, then you'll know. So then you don't have to keep going back if you know they don't get paid till the 20th, And I do have several people that are like haps. If they say they're going to put it up and then I'm like, okay, 6 hours later, it's not up. I'll send them a voice message. I'm like, hey girl, I haven't seen that post yet. Did you happen to get it up? Because I don't want you to miss out on a chance to win this money. Or I'll even say, sometimes I'll do coffee samples. So I'm like, hey, I don't want you to miss out. I know you wanted to try this coffee. And I have a girl, one of my new girls that's just completing her 4-in-1. She wanted to get her last 2 customers in, and all she did was she put a post on Facebook and just said, hey, my next 2 customers are getting a free 3-day sample pack. And people just started messaging her over the sample pack. So it doesn't have to be anything like drastically huge, but I'll send a voice message so that I know that they have to, listen to it. And then if they still ignore me, cause I'm like urgency. If they still ignore me, I'll message them and I'll say, is there something that I said that offended you? And immediately they'll be like, oh no, girl, I'm just busy with work. Or
yeah, actually, your pyramid scheme is offensive. Also, I guess now would be a good time to tell you guys that I released a new design of merch that says your pyramid scheme is offensive, and it's super cute. So you should definitely check it out. I'll put it here, but I'll also link it in the description below, as well as I'm sure you guys saw my Christmas merch has been released. So not Christmas, I would say holiday, any holiday, around the holidays, anytime really is a good time to support small businesses, but especially around the holidays when people are doing a lot of shopping. So you should definitely go check that one out as well. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time that I post. Click the join button if you'd like to receive access to some exclusive perks. And as always, if you wish to find me on social media, you can find me at the Jessica Hickson. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good too.